In this video, we'll be hunting 2 boxes of pennies, as well as seeing if we can make any additions or upgrades to the Hunt and Fill series. We'll of course be looking for any wheat cents from 1958 or older. We'll also be looking for any foreigns, proofs, heirs of varieties, or any other cool things we can find. And we do have one ender in each box, and both of them are Canadian. First one is right here, and the second one is right here, so hopefully it's a good sign for the box. So let's start the hunt, and I'll bring you in when we have our first find. Roll 3, just uncovered the first wheat cent. It's really beat up, and it's a common 1957 Denver, but still gets us on the board. Roll 8, just uncovered the second wheat cent, and it is a 1944 minted in Denver. Roll 11, just uncovered wheat cent number 3 of the hunt. And it is reverse facing, so we can reveal the date live. And it is a 1956 Denver. Literally just stopped recording that wheat cent, and look at the coin behind it. Right next to it in the roll, we have a counterstamped 1976 penny, with the Liberty Bell on the left and a USA on the right. I think I found one of these before, some sort of bicentennial commemorative. That is pretty cool. Roll 15, just uncovered the first Canadian cent of the hunt right here, and it is a 1970. Just opened roll 18, and I see the edge of Canadian cent number 2 of the hunt, and it is right here, and this one is a 1991. Next roll, roll 19, was that Canadian ender. Nothing else in the roll I see, but a Canadian ender is a 1982. Just opened roll 21, and we're going to have Canadian cent number 4 of the hunt right in the middle of the roll, and it is a 1989. Roll 28, not too sure how I missed the edge, but we have Canadian cent number 5 right here, and this one is a 1974. Just opened roll 31, and we're going to have the 6th Canadian cent of the hunt. It has been a while since we've gotten a wheat cent, and we've only have 3 so far, so hopefully the box can pick up with wheat cents, but this Canadian is a 1996. Just opened the next roll, and I did ask to pick up on wheat cents, and there is a wheat cent in this roll. It's right here in the back, obverse facing, a 1958 out of Denver. Next roll once again, and this time we have a Canadian and a wheat cent. We'll get the Canadian out first, and it is right here, and it is a 1987, and the wheat cent is right here, and it is a 1951 Denver. Just opened roll 40, and I see the edge of another Canadian cent right here, and this one is from 1976. Roll 41, just opened the roll, and I see the edge of another wheat cent. This is going to be wheat cent number 6 of the box right here, and it is a 1953 Denver. Just opened roll 43, and we have yet another Canadian cent. This one is near the back of the roll, and it is a 1999. That was it for box 1, and it was a little bit of a slow box. We ended up with only 6 wheat cents, all from the 40s and 50s, and we got 9 Canadians, and probably the coolest find of the box was that 1976 with the bicentennial counterstamps on it, which was pretty cool. Now let's move on to box number 2, and hopefully we can get some good finds. First roll of the second box, and hopefully this is a good sign because I already see the edge of a wheat cent right here. Hopefully this box can be good. And this wheat cent is a 1949 Denver. Roll 3 of the second box, and we have the first Canadian of this box, and it is right here, and it is 1976. Next roll, and I see the edge of another Canadian cent right here, and this one doesn't have a date on this side, so it is a 2002 commemorative. Roll 7, and once again we have another Canadian cent. This one is right here, and it's a pretty nice 1976 once again. Just opened roll 10, and I see 2 wheat cents in this roll. One of them I already see the date, so I'll pull that one out first. And it is a 1945 from Philly, and the other one is right here, and this one is also a 1945 Philly. Roll 13 just uncovered another wheat scent, and this one is a pre-40s. We do already have this one in the album though. It is 1936 out of Philly, and it's not the DDO, but still, any pre-40s wheat scent is a great find. Roll 19, and I see the edge of yet another Canadian scent near the beginning of the roll, and this one is a 1987. Roll 20 was that Canadian scent ender, and I also see a wheat scent later in the roll. Let's get the Canadian out first, and it is a 1979. Then the wheat scent is right here, and it is another one from the 30s, in 1939 Philly. We might need that one for the album. That is an awesome find. Next roll, and I see another Canadian scent once again. This one is right here, and it is a 1981. Roll 24, and I just uncovered an old wheat scent. I believe I saw it was a 1920, and it is a 1920 out of Philly. Very slick. I'm pretty sure we already have this one. It's a really common date, and I doubt it'll upgrade. It's in pretty rough shape, but still, a 1920 Philadelphia wheat scent. That is an amazing find. Roll 26 just uncovered another wheat scent, and this one will be going in the album because it is a San Francisco minted 1952, and the S mints are definitely the hardest ones to get for the 40s and 50s, so that is a great find. Roll 28, and I see the edge of yet another wheat scent. Glad to see the box is picking up. Hopefully it continues this pace with a lot of wheat scents. And this one is a 1940 from Denver. We might not have that one also. Next roll, and I see the edge of another Canadian scent. Just a few coins into the roll, right here. And it is a 1980. Again, next roll, and we have another Canadian scent. This one is about in the middle of the roll. And it is a 1995. Just opened roll 33, and yet again we have another Canadian scent. This one right here. And it is a 1982. Next roll, and I see two more edges of wheat scents, so that's a great sign for the roll. We'll pull out one right here first, and it is a 1957 Denver with some damage. And the other one, a few coins later, is a 1942 San Francisco. That's another one we might need for the album. Just opened roll 39, and I see the edge of another Canadian scent. And based on that bigger lettering on the edge, I think this might be a young head. And it is, which means it's 1964 or older, and it is a 1964. That's the most common year for these, but still a great find. Roll 43, just uncovered another wheat scent from the 40s, and this one is a 1940, minted in Philly. Roll 46, just uncovered another wheat scent. I missed it by the edge because it's pretty corroded and damaged, but it's still another find, and it is a 1952 Denver. Just open the next roll, and I see the edge of another wheat scent, and this one is right here in the back of the roll, and it is a 1956 Denver. Both boxes have been hunted, so let's go over the finds. We ended up with 13 1959s, 20 S mints, and 21 2009s. Foreigns all were Canadian. Our newest was a 2002, and our oldest was a 1964 Younghead, which is a great find. Miscellaneous finds, we had one, which was that 1976D Bicentennial Counterstamped penny. I found one or two of these before. They're always cool to find. And then for wheat cents, we got 19 for the two boxes, which is an average of about almost 10 a box, which is pretty good. The second box definitely had a lot more than the first box. And then of them, 3 of them were pre-40s, 1939, 36, and 1920, all from Philly. All common dates, but I do know we need that 1939 for the album, which is great. And we also had a couple of editions in the 40s and 50s as well, which is always awesome. And then for copper, as usual, we almost filled the copper jar for the two boxes, which is about how I usually do. So I'll add any additions or upgrades to the Hunt and Fill album, and I'll bring you in with an album update. Just finished putting everything in the album and doing all the upgrades, and here is a look at the new upgraded album. We did have 4 editions in this hunt, which were the 1939, 1940 Denver, 1942S, and 1952S. Also, we get 4 upgrades in the hunt. Hopefully the success can continue with this penny hunt and album fill series. And today was definitely a great episode.